G'day everyone, back here with another review. This time we're doing it on a sleeping bag. So the review is brought to you by trailhiker.com.au. Big thanks to Jay for sending this down for me to test out and basically give my thoughts on it. It is the VANGO Cobra 400. So I've used this sleeping bag on quite a few occasions now, and I feel like I've got a bit of an understanding of it, and it's worthy of a review, and it's worthy of recommending to you guys because I've been super impressed. I've used this every time in the minuses. So every time I've slept in this thing, it's been negative outside. I've done a couple of trips in the tent, a couple of trips in the car, and every time under 0 degrees. Last weekend with Baden on that fallow deer hunt, we had a reading of -4. It could have been a little bit colder than that at some points, but all I know is for a 900 gram total weight sleeping bag with only 400 grams of fill, I was very, very impressed. I've got the VANGO Venom 400 from years and years ago from backpacking, and I used to love that bag. For the value for money side of things, I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. But it did run a little bit cold, and I would normally have to run a sleeping bag liner, and I would sleep in, numerous layers of clothing for those really cold nights, like the -8s and things like that, which they're definitely character building when you're backpacking in that sort of weather. But this bag here, when I stayed in the -4 last weekend, admittedly I did have merino base layers on and I did have a puffy jacket on, but I didn't have any socks, and I was sleeping in the car. So the foot box of the sleeping bag was down in the footwell of the car on the cold surfaces, and a lot of warmth was escaping through there, I believe. But to this bag's credit, I stayed warm and I did not want to get out of it. Which I think I even mentioned in that video, that I didn't want to get out of the sleeping bag, and that was this bag right here. And I can safely say it's definitely warmer than the VANGO Venom 400, which I've also got in the cupboard, which is now just going to be used as a spare because I've got myself one of these. But I'll quickly just go over the specs. I'm going to throw in a little spec card at the end of this video that you can pause the video and you can sort of read the details, but I just wanted to do a quick overview, me talking about it first, and then at the end of the video there will be the spec sheet that comes with the sleeping bag, and you guys will be able to pause the video and read through that if you want to know the exact specifications and details. But a quick rundown: total weight is 900 grams of the sleeping bag when it's all packed up. The fill weight is 400 grams of ethically sourced down. It's got a 20D outer shell, which is also water resistant. The pack size, when you put in this compression sack, the specs sort of state 19 by 16 centimeters. I didn't do an actual test on this, but I actually think you could probably get a little bit smaller than that. I found it very easy to just put into the backpack because this thing was tiny. I have to throw this out there. Jay, who runs trailhiker.com.au, he only puts premium stuff on his website that he's used and tried and tested, and I'm the lucky one that gets to sometimes review some of these things, and I've bought things from him after I've reviewed them. This sleeping bag is going to be no exception. It is absolutely awesome, and he's even stated himself when we were in discussion about this sleeping bag and about what I sort of wanted to get, because I was starting to, just to feel the cold in the VANGO Venom. And he basically said that in his opinion, and I've got to agree with him, researching sleeping bags and that this VANGO Cobra 400 is quite possibly the best value for money sleeping bag on the market right now for backpacking. So I'll just take it out of here and show you guys just a little bit of it. It's a black color, orange interior. The zip comes nearly all the way down to the foot box. So if you want to run it like a blanket, you can. I found the zips extremely durable and just easy to use. Like, it's just really, really good. Obviously, I want to be careful when I zip it up so I don't accidentally pinch the sleeping bag, but it's dual-sided. So there's a zip both sides. The top side has this little toggle tab thing to help you basically close it, which is handy. And you know which zip's which. You can just, in the dark, you can feel it. Something simple, but those small little things like that, I actually, I appreciate it, especially, in the car and I couldn't be bothered turning the interior light on or whatever. All I knew is if I was going to zip it up from the inside, grab the one without the little tag. If I'm zipping up on the outside, grab the one with the tag. Simple things like that just made it very, very enjoyable to use. Got a little clasp here, just a bit hard. I don't know whether you guys can see this properly, but you do have, most of these have these locking points here just so the zip doesn't accidentally unzip. It's got a little cinch drawstring here for your head, so if you really want to cocoon yourself in there and get your head nice and tucked in and stay warm, you do have that option to cinch that down. Then under the head here, you've actually got this, it's almost like a bit of a collar. So when it's zipped up, this here, I don't know whether you can really see it, but it basically wraps up around your neck to stop cold drafts coming in and out, basically keeping warmth in. Very, very good idea. And I found that helped quite a lot at keeping my warmth in the bag. Another small thing, but very impressed by it. Also, on your right hand side, there is a pocket here. So if you're backpacking, you want to run your phone or something in there, you can fit a phone in there. That will help prevent losing the phone charge. You put a GoPro or small camera, something like that, anything that you don't want to lose charge, because in the cold weather, it will sap the battery life out of your device. So being able to put your phone in there, keep it warm, not lose the charge, but also advise if you're in the cold weather, put your phone in airplane mode, especially if you don't have much reception, because just these little things like this will help keep your phone from dying. And I think that about wraps it up. So I'm going to just close this up. We'll get it into its pack size. About the only thing that I can think of sort of negative to have to say about this bag is I wish the compression bag was just slightly a little bit bigger. I'd rather have a little bit bigger opening to be able to jam it in, then compress it down. But you know, all in all, it's not too bad. So it does take a little while to get it into the compression bag here, but when you do, it is tiny. Like, look at the size of this thing. It's not much bigger than my hand. So it makes packing very easy for backpacking trips and things like that, or throwing it in the car, chuck it in your swag, super easy. I'm very, very impressed with this bag. And if you're in the market for a new sleeping bag, I strongly recommend you chucking this in on your compare list. So I always advise everyone to compare, you know, a few different makes and models. After using this one, I'm sold. They're available on trailhiker.com.au, so if you want to get one, jump on there, grab one. Jay will look after you, and you'll get your postage super fast.